All right,
It's
take two.
It's take two. 3 o'clock on a Tuesday. We all know what that means. Another riveting episode of Behind Breaking Bars.
Brand new in 2024, right?
There you go.
Are you looking forward to 2025 like I am?
Boy. I'm not sure.
Oh,
Is this
hey.
a trick question?
Andy Kahn, Director of Victim Services and Crime Stoppers Houston. Thank you, before we get started, to the 9 people that called the Fox News desk and demanded us back.
We appreciate you.
Overwhelming.
Yes.
Yes,
The
overwhelming.
ratings were so over the
Campaign,
top.
Lobbying work. We're
Yes,
back.
yes. How's your new year been so far?
So far, so good. We ticked off. I lost track of my hands. So
It's early. You'll
It's
catch
early.
up.
It's every day. That's my goal. One person a day.
There you go. Introduce yourself, young man.
Doug Griffith, I'm the president of the Houston Police Officers Union, and very happy to be here with you gentlemen today.
How's your new year going so far?
I've got a new grandbaby who
Congratulations.
is now doing amazing.
Great.
The good Lord is good.
Yes.
She was born 1.5 pounds back in October. Told her she wouldn't make it, and here she is, 3.5 pounds, little Henley. Keep fighting, baby girl.
Her name's Henley. That's a cool name. I like that. Hey, one of the things that we wanted to talk about is, we're starting off a new year, new mayor. You all have already kind of had a lot of interaction with Mayor Whitmire.
Well, we've known him I've only known him for about 10 years, but he's worked with our union for well over 40 years.
Yeah.
He's very law enforcement centric. He likes to see criminals where they belong, in jail. He was the only Democrat that's been given the position of criminal justice chair in the Senate. So
Right.
he knows the ins and outs of the criminal justice system. He understands it. He knows what needs to be done, and I look forward to working with him over the next couple
In other
of years.
words, criminal justice doesn't matter what political party.
Absolutely.
Right.
They don't care if you're Republican, Democrat. They stick a gun in your face, they want your money. Don't care who you affiliate with.
But one thing too about, I was going to call him Senator Whitmire, Mayor Whitmire, is he's also one of these that he doesn't want poor people to languish in jail. He doesn't.
Well, I'm a very conservative person. I don't see that.
No, nobody
Not at all.
does. Nobody does.
But I also believe we have to hold people accountable for their actions.
Right.
It's one of these, if you don't hold them accountable, they're going to continue the bad behavior.
Right.
It's sometimes people get on to me about, calling people out. And I said, if somebody doesn't tell them they're stupid, they're going to continue to be stupid.
There you go.
And so sometimes
I
you have to
can't
call them
believe
out.
somebody would call you out. I've never been called out in well, maybe.
I would say you have. I would say you have.
We'll have to compare lists
What-
one day.
Is there certain things that you all have already kind of been talking about, or?
Well, obviously crime is on the front of everybody's mind here in
Right.
Houston. We see the reports. You see every day on the news, somebody's shot, somebody's killed. DWI is obviously a problem in the city. We have a lot of issues that we have to deal with. You can't tackle them all on day one. We understand that, but you've also got to have a plan. You've got to have a 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10-year plan down the road of how you want to progress, not only as a city, but as the department goes, so does the city.
Yeah.
So just like the city, the most diverse city in the nation, we have the most diverse police department in the nation. A lot of people don't know that's because of our contract
Right.
and the way we have it set up. There's things that the department needs to do to recruit better, to retain officers better. There's a lot of things that are going into play here. And you got to think, the previous mayor left us with a mess. The city don't have a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, you got to also understand, and people don't know this, but the revenue cap. When the revenue cap was in place, when they put the revenue cap in place, it was not to include public safety, which includes police and fire.
Right.
Bill White will tell you that, I believe, if you go and speak with him right now. That was never the intent. The only way you move the revenue cap is because of police and fire. And so if the city does what they need to do and fixes that, I don't think we'll have a problem. But again, we're looking at lean times ahead.
He's got a lot to do. There's no doubt about that. You got to wonder too, I would think that it's going to take a while to go into the job and kind of look at all these different departments, right? And sort of decide, okay, there's an issue here, and I think this person that's heading up the department is the issue that got to go, right? I mean, there's going to be
change.
Yeah.
But you also want to sit back and see what's working and what's not working.
right. Yeah.
You can't go in with a hatchet and just start
No.
chopping things up. I mean, look at our department. Our department's running smooth. That's going to be farther down on his list.
Right.
You got the water department over there who's got some real issues.
Public Works is, yeah.
We got, you may have to attack that first.
They're
Right.
the gift that keeps giving.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many departments like that. The airport issue, the
Yes.
public works, the roads, the water, there's so many things that may be a higher priority.
And let's face it too, when some people get in those positions, it becomes, well, my brother-in-law does, right? I mean, it turns into this,
Just take a look at the contracts that were given out for water leaks.
right.
And how many of those companies even own equipment.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you fix a water leak when you don't have the equipment to do so?
And the craziest thing of last summer, where it's 100 degrees and the city is saying, don't use the water. I bet I did 3 or 4 stories where gushing. It's like hundreds, if not thousands of gallons of water are just,
Well, you have to sit and look. In Midtown, right where we are here, and even over off Washington Avenue, you start looking, think about it. You've got all these apartment buildings coming up, all down along I-10, between I-10 and Washington. There's thousands of apartments they're building over there. Are they fixing the infrastructure before they do so?
right.
Because if not, the sewer lines aren't capable
Yeah.
of maintaining what's coming out of all those apartments.
Well, and when you just look at the entire city, look how much growth there is.
Absolutely.
And yeah, you're right. I mean, has the infrastructure really have we kept up with that? I don't think we
Let
have.
me ask you, Doug, in this day and age, the modern day age, and this is in Houston and all over the country, how do you go about recruiting people to become police officers in this day and age?
Very good question. And it seems like our smaller departments actually do a little bit better job of doing that. One is pay, obviously. For the city of Houston, that's an issue because our starting pay for the first year, which is not in a contract because we're not allowed to bargain for civilians, but it's $43,000. So an officer that wants to be a lateral transfer, it could be a pay cut. Really good. Anybody in the private sector.
How does that compare to
Other cities?
large cities?
Most cities are in there somewhere starting salary around 65 to 68.
You would think.
If I had to, look around the state. Now, ours is lower, but again, we've done a decent job of bargaining. It's almost $70,000 your first year. So if we were able to get closer to the 55, 60 mark, then that first year is not such a big leap. Right now, they're going from 43,000 to 68,000.
Does the city
In a
ever
month.
offer like a signing bonus?
They did.
Yeah.
I think the money's gone for that. It was COVID money. So I think they're out of that now.
Did that help, do you think?
It did.
Yeah.
I mean, we're about to graduate a class of 77. That's the biggest class we've had
In
in
a long time, yeah.
years. I mean, we were down to like 42, 43 at a time. We have one lateral class. I think we had 8 or 9 out of that.
Wow.
So, it is the problem today. You have to look across the country. We've been villainized so much that we're evil. We're the mean ones. We're the bad guys, not the crooks. We're the bad guys. Instead of asking, I'll give you a prime example. We've had all these chases around here. Other stations have made the comment, well, why are you chasing them? Well, the question is, why are they running? And why is nothing happening to them when they get caught?
Right.
I've always wondered why there isn't an enhancement on.
There should be, right?
Should be.
When you're fleeing,
Should be.
right? There should
I mean,
be some enhancement.
we're better today than we used to be because it used to be a misdemeanor if you flee in a car. Now it's a felony. Problem is, no one takes that serious.
Right.
They just don't. The courts don't. You're not getting jail time for evading.
It would be
arrest.
interesting to see
Unless you hit
what the punishments were for evading arrest and law. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
That would be.
I mean, it needs to be at least.
Your Cracker Jack news department could Probably. handle
I'll
something
get them
like
on that. I'll bring that
Put
up
that
to
on
them.
our new
But again,
contract.
that just, that goes to the overall scheme of things.
Right,
You know, why do officers want to come here and do this job? You're monitored with the camera around the clock. You've got all these restrictions on what you can and cannot do. You're one call away from getting yourself killed or charged with a crime.
right.
I mean, look at Austin, what they did over there to those poor officers. They charged 19 of them for doing their job during the riot.
That's an excellent point, Jim. And how many people have a job where every single movement, word you say during your entire shift is on a camera? It's all
Your
video.
micromanage.
Well, think about
Yeah.
this, just for instance. Officers are involved in shootings and kill suspects across the country. It's an average about 900 to 1,000 a year, okay? Out of that, 99.9 of those are completely justified. You may have one here, one there where it could be questionable. I get that. But also everybody's got to wear body cameras, right? What about doctors? Doctors kill more people from
Sure
malpractice
they do,
every
right.
single year
And they're
than
not-
any other profession, yet
Right.
they're not wearing body cameras when they're doing surgeries.
That's
Just
an
saying,
excellent
there's-
point.
You know,
Yeah.
or even, not to throw the firemen on the bus, but paramedics. I mean, why aren't they wearing body cameras? I'm just saying, there's all kinds of things where, and yet we're the problem.
Right.
We're doing stuff out of bounds.
Well, when you
really,
think
or-
about it, people that work in like nursing home settings, they should all be wearing a body cam. Because you hear these stories about somebody working there and they're doing these old people in, right?
Right.
I mean, it would be a
there's-
good idea.
you could do that across the board. I don't mind wearing a body camera. I wear one when I go out and work. I like it because it protects me.
It does, right.
It really does. If I'm involved in a critical incident, I mean, look at all of our shootings since we started doing the body cameras.
Yeah.
We have not had a single shooting that was questionable since we
Right.
had those.
And they're all, everyone has been released within 30 days, like
Yep.
Chief Fenner said.
I want them out in a week.
Yeah.
There's no reason we can't put them out in a week.
You know, I've wondered that same thing because I've seen some and I've thought, why didn't they just go ahead 3 days and say, hey,
Well, I've had people, other law enforcement union organizations say, man, why are you pushing for that? We don't want them out. I go, well, we do.
yeah,
Absolutely. It shows our guys are doing it right.
right.
And it's really helpful when they go up and try to render aid to them after the fact.
Yes, yeah,
You know?
definitely.
I can remember when
definitely.
I come on, they say, if you shot somebody, you had somebody else tend to them, you never went and looked at it
Yeah,
because you'll never forget it. And
Right.
it's like, you
And
know,
that's the
today
thing.
it's a different world. Today, we're trying to render aid to them people.
that's the thing about watching them too, because I can remember being a reporter for many, many years, not ever seeing anything like that. And once you do, it really puts things in perspective because it is so much more than just, I shot somebody. It's what the officer's reaction is after that. They go administer CPR, or they try to save the person's life.
We don't take this job to shoot or hurt
Thank you.
anyone. We
Right,
take this job to help people. And when you do have to do that, you're forced to do that. And I know because I've been involved in critical incidents like that, it sucks. Your mindset is not right for weeks after
Sure.
that. Because that's the last thing you want to do. You don't come here to hurt people. You come here to help people.
right.
And unfortunately, they put us in a position where we don't have a choice. And then you've got to deal with that the rest of your life.
Yeah, even if it's a justified situation, just like if somebody breaks into your house and they're gonna harm you and it's like, well, it's me or him, you fire. Still, if you take someone's life, you gotta live with that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Every day.
So Mayor Whitmire was here Thursday, along with all the other police chiefs were here Thursday. One of the things he was talking about was going after the repeat offenders who have violated their bond conditions. And that's something that we've discussed ad nauseum
Right.
on how many people are on there for bond forfeiture. So for example, one of the things we're going to be talking about on one of the segments tonight is there's one guy, you might have remembered this story, the guy with the catalytic converter theft, which is obviously became a very big issue this legislative session. Well, you named a bill after a Harris County deputy that was
Right.
killed trying to prevent one. So we had a guy who's got 14 prior felony convictions who was caught red-handed with a theft of a catalytic converter. He actually had it on him, and he had a chainsaw with him as well.
Got a PR bond.
He got a PR bond,
Yes.
despite, it gets better. So while he's on the PR bond, 2 weeks later, he gets charged with another theft. This time it was 16 metal pipes. They gave him another PR bond.
And told him, one of his bond conditions, you can't have a chainsaw outside of your house.
Because that's going to stop him.
Right. Well,
You guys get like bolo alerts. If you see this guy with
Right.
a chainsaw,
Well, the sad part is the
So-
officers know who he is.
oh,
They're going to see him out again. They're going to see him with that and say, hey, what are you doing with that? It's not like that's a crime.
yeah.
They're not gonna do anything about it.
But here the court system bent over backwards for him, right? Guess what? He's gone. He's fled. His bond has been
he
fulfilled.
didn't show up in court again. So
Now he's wanted.
He's now wanted, and that's just one of the few we're going to be talking about.
Hey, I'm surprised they didn't just give him a new court date, send him a letter, tell him be here this date.
Right, yeah.
That happens too, trust me.
Yeah, maybe that day wasn't good for you, so
Yeah.
we're gonna move it to
Yes.
something else.
Well, we have how many misdemeanor cases out there? They're never filing warrants on.
No.
We just never go to court.
Right. Well, we talked about this before. It's like, I mean, I hate to say it, but it's almost like you're a fool if you go.
Yeah.
Because if you don't go, no one's gonna do
No.
anything to you.
Less than 16% of those charged with misdemeanor crimes go to court.
Yeah,
That's ridiculous.
yeah. And nothing
No warrants are
happens.
filed, nothing. They're just sending letters, here's your next court date.
You almost gotta wonder, why do we still even have it?
If that's the case, I'm almost to the point where, look, this is what we're gonna do. We'll cut them all off right now. Every single thing that's pending,
Yeah.
dismiss it. We're gonna start over. But you get caught again, we're gonna take it serious.
That would
We're
be
gonna
good
hammer
if you
it.
ask me. Don't you
Yeah.
think so?
I have no issue with that.
Yeah,
I'm saying because at some point we gotta reset and we gotta start holding people accountable.
right.
Look, there's a 20% reduction in the prison population in Texas right now. Why? Because we have all of our final offenders in county jails awaiting trial.
Right.
Get those trials moving, put those folks where they belong, crime will go down.
And we're spending money sending some of them to
We do.
prisons in other states, yes.
If you look at the crime stats from, let's say, 1996 through, let's say, 2015, the numbers plummeted.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, boom. And then right now, everybody wants to say,
Sure, that's when
crime
I was
is
on the
down.
streets still. When I come on the streets around 2011, it just went up.
You're the catalyst. You're
It was
the
you.
key. It was put him back on that. But and I sit there and I watch, and you can spin anything, and you know that. You can, crime is down, crime is down. Of course it's down.
Right.
You had no
It's the
place
highest
where there was no other place you could go. Yes, it's down.
Yeah.
I get it, and that's great. However, let's look at it in comparison. 5 year, let's do a 5-year lookout.
Well, and talk about a reset. If you go back to, okay, you're out on bond, don't break the law. And I can even see maybe 1 or 2 times. But
After that,
back in the day, you did not have 8, 10, 12 bonds. It was unheard of.
because again, I love how these judges spin this. Oh, we have to give them a bond.
Yeah,
We have to give them a bond. Okay, but you can revoke the previous.
right, yes. You don't have to
They've
allow them
proven.
to continually,
You're right. They've already proven they're not gonna be a productive member of society. Hold them.
right.
So what's the other one we're going to talk about? This is the great tease for tonight, right? The other guy?
Oh, yes.
Yes. So we did a little thing on him when you'd had that press conference, HPD, on the auto theft sting.
Yeah, there's
That
all
they
these,
ran,
like
and
more
then
than
we-
20 people, I think, were
And then
arrested.
we, decided, well, let's see what happened to the 20 people after they were.
How many PR bonds?
There were
few.
Are we holding that for tonight?
A few.
There were a few, but there were actually 2 of them that were wanted, that were featured. So yesterday I said, well, let's just see, are they still wanted? The one guy that was wanted was taken into custody and was sentenced to 30 days.
The other one got a PR bond.
The other
How
one
do
who
you
was
go from
wanted,
being
you went
wanted,
from wanted in the news conference to getting out on a
a
PR
PR
bond.
bond?
I'm not gonna come to court,
So-
but hey,
Yeah.
oh, promise you're here. Oh, yeah, I'll come on.
But tonight is the all-time winner.
Yes.
Winner. That's all we're going to say is
Yes.
we've been doing this for, I don't know, whatever, but we've never had one on this many bond forfeitures
Oh, this will be fun.
ever. You've
Yeah.
got to watch tonight.
Be sure to
see it.
tune in to Fox 26 News at 9 for tonight's Breaking Bond segment. Hey, thank you so much for joining us. I hope this is going to be a great year for all of us. And remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Bye.